All right, fishing friends, we're gonna chat today. We're gonna try to do this in the nicest way because I know this is a subject that people are gonna they're gonna freak out, they're gonna lose their minds. But hear me out, and then please, I want to open up a dialogue of good conversations, of intelligent things to try to make better decisions. So we're talking kayak bass fishing, we're talking tournaments. And what I want to talk about specifically, and I did a video a year ago, and it was just kind of making a joke, but now I've had a lot more time in the water. I'm fishing with a lot of different people. I'm fishing with a lot of kids. I fish with some folks that have limited use of their arm. I fish with a military veteran, a gentleman that's had a stroke. So there's all these different things I want to talk about. Before we jump to conclusions and say, oh, it's not necessary, hear me out. I'm talking about how we measure fish on a measuring board. So this is the video. Please, the companies that I have stickers on here, I actually was going to take them all off because no one is really endorsing this. This is just an idea that I'm throwing out there, and I want us all to think this through. Kayak bass fishing, KBF, Chad Hoover and his crew, you guys are incredible. Huge core, like they got the tournaments, like the national championship thing is awesome. I hope to qualify for it. I'm actually working with them. I'm announcing the events on the West Coast. So we have fun events out here. We want to make them more engaging, more fun. We've got BASS now is in the house of kayak bass fishing. They've got great tournaments that happen. We got Slay Nation. We got all these different pop-up tournament series that are going on, trail series, whatever you want to call them. We're all catching fish. We're all on our kayaks, John boats, whatever. And we're measuring fish on measuring boards, and we're taking photographs with our phone. We're uploading Turniacs. There's a couple now that they're trying to actually take videos and uploading, but that's not what we're talking about. The specific rule I want to talk about is the ability to clip a fish with a retention clip while you're taking a photograph. Crazy, right? First off, again, this is not an endorsement, but this is the donkey leash that I use, Cal Coast. This thing is really super simple. It's a couple bucks. This again would have to go back to the jurisdictional agencies. Who's managing kayak bass fishing? And why are we making the decisions we're making? So I believe you can catch a fish, bring it up to the boat. So you do all your work as an angler. You stalk the fish, you find the fish, whatever. You might just get lucky. You catch that fish, you land the fish, and you take the hook out, whatever your bait is. Then you got to fish up out of the water. I love to just clip that thing right on its gill plate and its lower jaw. It doesn't hurt the fish, and immediately get that fish back in the water when I'm kayak fishing in a tournament. Get my board out, get my phone out, get all these things ready, and then pull that fish up. And the way that this works with this cutout is that fish, that clip can be clipped to the side of the fish, mouth closed, facing left, all the same things. You can take a photograph of that fish on the board, and it doesn't improve your standings, it doesn't change the length, it doesn't do anything, but it allows you to take that picture, and as soon as you're done snapping the picture, before you start checking those photographs, put the fish back in the water, where the fish lives, where the fish breathes. And that's, the first thing is fish preservation. How we're taking care of these fish. A 5-pound bass, 5 to 10 years old. We want to keep those fish in the water. I want to catch them again. My kids need to catch these fish. You guys, we all need to catch these fish. We need to take care of our fish. So rather than some of the horror stories that I've seen and heard, people like holding the fish under their boot. I know people are like, oh, you just poke the fish in the butt and get it to settle down. I've lost fish off the board, and it's so disappointing when you get a fish. And what's interesting is with the way the sport's done is we're trying to catch the largest fish. And you're almost penalized more the longer the fish is and the heavier the fish is, and the ability for that fish to flip its body off the board. You're just hoping. You just take this 5, 6, 7-pound fish and you lay a live animal on a piece of plastic and you hope it doesn't flip off. I just think that is weird. It's not the best way to take care of the sport. The sport is catching fish. It's not the sport of taking photographs. I know these are all inherent things included in your ability to perform well in kayak fishing. And hear me out. If you're so good that you don't need to use a clip and you've never lost a fish and you don't care about it, this is what's awesome. Don't use it. And that's the easiest thing, is just don't use the clip. Don't use a modified board. Don't even worry about it. Just do exactly what you're doing. You're going to be fine. Who cares? You're awesome. And I think that's great. I can do fine. I've lost fish off boards and it's disappointing. I know some competitions, some tournaments, some people have actually lost the tournament because they've lost big fish. Whether that's hearsay or whatever, I've heard it. This is a way to eliminate that. So you shouldn't really be penalized by losing a fish during the photo process. Because someday we're all gonna have these microchips and we're gonna have glasses that have a camera and it's gonna be live update. And so this piece of the way we take the picture of the fish is probably gonna go away anyway. There may be some automated live scale that we know we're back to measuring the weight, who knows, but this is a simple fix. And here's why the fix is even more than just fish preservation. Think of fishing with a little kid. Think about taking a little youngster out for their first tournament, and you get them out there and they catch a fish and they put it on the board and they're trying to hold it and they're getting their phone and the fish flips off the board. You're like, oh, it's okay. That's part of fishing. No, that's not part of anything to do with fishing. It's a weird rule for some reason we've put into kayak bass fishing on how we measure our fish. So let's just eliminate it. The elimination is by allowing some kind of clip, and whether it's, again, the donkey leash, the modified board, whatever, we can talk about these things. There's plenty of important people in the decision making of kayak bass fishing. Let's get the smart people together. Let's get them in a room, Zoom them, because we're on isolation right now. So let's all Zoom in a meeting. I just want to know in the comment line, why is this rule bad? Please explain to me, what is the benefit of clipping a fish? How does that help your fish length? How does that help you catch more fish? Why should a fish clip not be allowed? That's what I really want to know, is what bad does it do to the sport? So I'm thinking of veterans. I'm thinking of people with limited use of their arms, challenged athletes, disabled athletes, folks that have limited use of a limb. This will help them. This will help people just simply that say, hey, I'm new to kayak bass fishing, and laying a fish down makes me nervous because I'm not super great at catching a ton of fish like all these pros. I don't want to lose the fish that I catch. Can I clip it? The answer should just be yes. And that's what I pose to you is, why can't we? Just ask yourself that question. If you have a reasonable response that makes sense, other than, oh, it's the way we've always done it. Oh, please explain to me in the comments below. I'd love to set up a phone call, again, Zoom it. Why are we closing down the opportunity for people that are first timers? Why are we closing down limited use athletes that have challenged athletes? Why are we making it harder than it needs to be? Because this rule's silly. So let me know your thoughts. I seriously want to know why we should not allow fish to be clipped when you're measuring them and taking a photograph. That's all I want to know. If you have an answer, please put it down in the comments below. Let's get the conversation started. I think this is a simple thing. Obviously, we'll have to have boards checked. There'll only be certain modifications allowed. It'd be so cool if somebody would step up and sell a combo. Like I actually have mine connected with Rogue Fishing. If you could have a clip connected to the side of your boat, pull the fish up, put it on the board, set the fish free. Of course, you shouldn't have a fish clipped when you're still fishing. I think a lot of those rules are already in place, but making sure you're not penalized by a big fish flipping off the board. This eliminates all of that worry, all that nonsense. Let's see if we can get this rule changed. And until then, folks, keep casting. Thanks for watching. That's so funny. You take a live animal and lay it on a plastic board. Measuring board, right? Kayak bass fishing. Let's start putting a notch in our board. Here's why. Challenged athletes, limited use limbs, stroke victims, kids. Look at that, mouth's closed. There's your fish on the board, 6-pounder. Look at that, clear as right there. Tell me what's wrong with doing that. Why is it wrong to put a fish on a leash and then immediately get it back in the water while you upload your picture and take care of your business in your tournament? Man, that's a good idea. Why don't we do that?